issues can be addressed, and they're also pretty big issues. But everything that Jason was talking about, including minority achievement, Pali being separated by race, and academic worth, I think those are all really strong issues that we should address.
A lot of us talked about how some groups are excluded more than others. So.
All the different separations between people. People always look for the differences between each other and not similarities.
You're right. You find yourself looking for more of a difference with a person than actually accepting who they are and finding something that you have in common.
I agree. I think the achievement gap is something that really needs to be addressed because it affects a person's whole life.
I think for that, either we can abolish the laning system, or we can try to combine classes, or maybe we can just because there's like achieving an underrepresentation of minorities in certain classes, we can try to get everyone to take like a wheel class in, like we did in 6th grade, where you try out different electives before you actually go in and choose them, so that we can expose as many people up to different STEM classes in different fields as possible.
I think Jason talked about how academic achievement is tied to your parents' income. Do you think that here, since we have the ARC, that helps with kind of bandaging that issue?
Yeah, absolutely. My group focused on the absence of social justice, but there is a lot of presence in this. I'll talk about things. There are resources on campus for people to help. It's more like students who are children of parents who make less money. The parents are always required to work to be able to support their families, and they maybe not have the same support system on campus because they have to go home and take care of their siblings at work, and their parents at home aren't home either to be able to support them.
In terms of exclusion and inclusion, how we can further inclusion, I think that's also a community thing. So maybe just in Palo Alto hold more get-togethers or block parties or something like that. And also
people love each other.
Yeah. And also between like East Palo Alto and Palo Alto, there should be more connection.
Because we call East Palo Alto our sister city. I was talking about this with a couple of people a while ago. We call East Palo Alto our sister city, but it's so exclusive, and we were talking about the Ravenswood district. There's not really a lot of communication. It's very disparate.
I know a lot of people who, if I say Ravenswood School District, they're like, where? Is that in Chicago?
I would know where Ravenswood is.
The only way I heard of it was when I biked into East Palo Alto accidentally. I cried when I was like 10, and my mom got so mad at me for going to that area. Which is...
And that speaks to another thing. That exclusion. Your mom got mad at me for going into... Exactly.
I think that large-scale exclusion is another reason why minorities don't achieve as highly, because they don't have a support system in Palo Alto Unified to help them, like tell them which tutors to get, tell them how to succeed in these classes and whatnot.
What do you think that we can do, the pathway, what do you think we can do to ameliorate these issues?
What we're doing right now, discussing it, at least bring it to light as most people on campus even realize.
And there are events that we have, such as NIOS. For middle schoolers, we have freshman orientation.
Freshman orientation as well.
Justice Commissioner, when she came into the class, she was talking about how we can expand the freshman orientation process to be a little bit more inclusive, so that freshmen just don't meet one other class and then see them again.
Exactly.
I was talking to Mr. Hall during the interview. He mentioned that he wanted to use the link crew more often, because it's really just the only thing they do is freshman orientation, and they're done. So I think developing sort of a buddy system to help the freshmen get accepted.
We used to have a buddy system in elementary school, and that would be cool. We don't have that anymore. If we do use Linktree, though, one important thing would be to have a better vetting system, because I know a lot of people who are on Linktree this year who I wouldn't really, who have either bullied me in the past or had some sort of bad experience, and I wouldn't want them introducing freshmen to the school.
Well, Mr. Hall has changed it to an application process. No one's been picked yet. We don't know until June.
From last year, if they change it, that's probably supposed to.
the buddy system wouldn't be a really good idea. From my experience, freshman orientation was my first week here in Palo Alto, my very first week. So when I got here, I didn't know anyone. So I was put in a group, didn't know anybody. I didn't know who I was talking to. And then I got to school, still knew no one. Freshman orientation would be a much bigger help to freshmen coming into college, meeting people, making friends, and having someone that they see during the day that they can come and say hi to and talk to them.
I just say that the link crew wasn't very effective for me. My link crew leaders, I don't really know who they were. I don't know their names. And just like, I see them on campus, I think, but then they don't say hi to me.
Exactly. I think I knew one of my link crew leaders already because it was my friend's brother. But then the other one, I ran into in the bathroom one time, and she totally ignored me. So,
What do you think are the pathway's next steps?
well, for the pathway itself, we're still very, very new. So just expanding our here we are, and this is what we're doing. That,
Exactly.
like, just expressing ourselves towards the rest of the campus. Like right now, people still think, oh, this is a cult of do-gooders.
At least for do-gooders.
Yeah. But expanding our image so that we're not just, oh, these guinea pigs for change.
And I think the second cohort will help with that.
Yes.
I think we should be, like I said before, we should plan more public events because right now we've been educating people within the pathway, and that's been like great. We've been discussing these kind of things all year. But I think we should do things that impact the entire campus and hopefully the entire community.
The stuff we did for NIOS, the rainworks, which will be going up soon if they haven't done them already, and the poster we put on the wall drew a lot of attention. And if we do more things like that, or at least advertise or share something like this, if we share it on Facebook a lot, or even something as simple as that, we can get a lot more good feelings towards social justice on campus.
So with the exclusion of other grades from the senior deck, I think either we can make other places on the quad more appealing so that it's not just the senior deck that's like, oh, the grandest stage or something. Maybe, because it's pretty distinct as it is right now. It's a platform where everything else is just like grass, so that's like a big, yeah.
It's higher, but it's also, it's not that it looks nicer, but it's a thing of an achievement. You're finally senior, you're finally able to sit. So it's more of breaking the tradition than making other places look nicer.
Yes.
We have the Mac now that looks 10 times nicer than the quad, even though we're not allowed to eat in there anymore.
It's also not that close to all the classes. The senior deck is in the middle of the school. So you can all meet your different friends from different places.
Does anyone have specific ideas about what we can do to change?
I think it would help if we invited students who have preps to come sit in on our classes and just listen.
Yeah.
We should have certain classes where it's very, geared to be a good entrance for people, because, if we're talking about a project we've been working on for 2 weeks. But yeah.
We could
So
maybe organize something like that where people with
Where
preps
people
come in
come.
and we all have a big discussion. Maybe even like a class, like a different history 4th period class, could come in and discuss with us what we can do to change campus.